3-year-old Ethan Connolly was born with a 1 in a million condition, lymphogioma, a painful condition that causes cysts to grow behind his face, his eyes, making his head so swollen it's difficult for him to breathe or speak.
Well, Mum Karen is not only concerned about his physical condition, but also the psychological scars that he may suffer from the cruel taunts made by other people. Now, Ethan is happily playing in our green room. There he is. He's in there with his dad, Kevin, and his little sister, Tilly, and his mum, Karen's here. That means he's going to have a chat to us, and also Dr. Chris. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
He looks very happy this morning. He was playing in a cardboard box when I came in to say hello. Lovely, lovely little boy. You knew there was something wrong pretty much as soon as he was born, didn't you? What happened?
As soon as he was born, he was taken to one side, and he was quite a grey colour, and he was struggling to breathe. So you could also see that there was a problem, and they brought a paediatrician in straight away.
So they whisked him off. They let you kiss him, I think, didn't they?
They let him kiss
whisked
him
him away.
They took him away with Kevin.
And so how quickly did they tell you what they thought it was?
We were told within the first couple of days that it was a cystic hygroma, but we didn't get the full medical term for it until he was about 3 months old.
And that was Great Ormond Street, I think, he got. Chris, just tell us, what is it?
Well, it's called lymphangioma. Now, we've got one circulation system, which is the blood circulation system, arteries and veins. You've also got another circulation system in the body called the lymphatic system. Now, that consists of tiny vessels called lymph vessels, and they carry fluid past lymph nodes. Now, lymph nodes are the glands that swell when you have a sore throat, or glands that swell when you have glandular fever. And the lymphangioma is a condition that the child is born with, where the lymph vessels are dilated, they form fluid-filled sacs, and of course, they grow. Now, it's not a life-threatening condition to the child. I mean, their life is healthy and long, but of course, it's the disfigurement and the complications of the pressure, which
yes, that was I think that was one of the major complications was the breathing, wasn't it? The cysts.
Yeah, when he was 4 days old, he was taken to Alder Hay to have a tracheostomy because he used to make like a little snoring noise all the time, and he was having difficulty breathing, and it was because of the pressure of one of the cysts. He used to have one that was really big on one side.
Does it just affect the head?
Well, head and neck more commonly, but it can affect any part of the body. The armpits, the groin inside, the abdomen, and the problem is that it's rare. So surgeons in this country have not got a great deal of experience, and the feeling in this country is, you go to excise it, take it all out, and they keep recurring. That's because the surgeons aren't going deep enough, they haven't had enough experience to find this tumour where it ends. Whereas Karen has actually found the world's leading expert.
Yeah, well, actually, it was your husband, I think, wasn't it, who was looking at things on the internet, discovered Dr. Weiner.
Yeah.
So tell us about Dr. Weiner. Where is he?
We found him on a lymphatic malformation site. It's a support group, and they've got like before and after pictures of children that have been to Dr. Weiner, and they just had some brilliant results from them. So, and every time we've seen a child that had an operation and looked really good, it was always his name that was on it. And we tried to contact him, and then just out of the blue, we went to have some laser surgery on Ethan's tongue, and they said that he was coming to Alder Hay, and would we like to meet him? And we were like, we've been trying to get in touch with him. Yeah. We'd already sent his MRI scans over and things, trying to get hold of him, and trying to see if we could have a consultation with him in Berlin.
He's such a happy boy, look at him. How does it actually affect his day-to-day life, Karen? Because he looks so happy and... You see Mummy?
That's great.
He doesn't let it affect him at all, to be honest. He tries to go... he's just as active as any other 3-year-old. Sometimes, though, it can be a bit painful, and he can have, they can swell and they can get infected, and the ones on his tongue can sometimes burst and bleed. But he just goes, it doesn't seem to affect him as a person.
It probably affects you more, as you said, people's reactions to him. You're very protective.
Yeah.
Well, people have been incredibly cruel.
Yeah.
And whereas he's young enough to let that go over the top of his head at the moment, you, of course, have been protecting him from. I mean, children will always be inquisitive. Other children can be cruel. They don't know what they're saying. They don't know the effect that it has. But what is astonishing is that idiot adults have also proved themselves to be incredibly ignorant.
Yeah.
And one person in a supermarket.
Yeah, it was just a guy in the supermarket. I was pushing Ethan in the trolley, and he was actually nudging his partner. Sorry, I'm crying.
Oh, no, it's very hard.
Nudging his partner, saying, "Look at him, look at him." And I just stood in front of Ethan because I didn't want him to see them pointing at him. And I didn't want her to have a look at him. It's not something to be stared
No,
at.
of course not. And we've had this before with so many other people who've come in and said that they, there was a young girl who needed the skin stretched on her head, and so she had a balloon inserted, and eventually to sort out back to being a beautiful girl. But for a while she was disfigured, and the attitude that we seem to have to I mean, this is a child that we have to people who have a disfigurement of some sort.
It's
astonishing,
Chris, isn't it?
I mean, people can be just very cruel and very insensitive, and of course that's the concern. I mean, as you say, he's not aware of his situation, but as he gets older, into school, kids are very cruel as well, and of course, teenage years. So obviously, this surgery is very important to him now before he gets to school. Now,
it's £50,000 worth of surgery, isn't it? To get you there for the full trip, the full thing.
We're not too sure of the exact amount that we're going to need, to be honest. We know of another little girl with a different condition that's going to see Dr. Wayner. Her condition is actually easier to treat, and her operations are ranging from 7,000 to 28,000, and they've spent 78,000 on her so far. So the initial figure is 50,000, but we don't know how far that will get us.
Well, the Alder Hey have been fantastic, and as we said at the beginning, this is so rare that they are quite rightly saying, well, what we'll do is we've got Dr. Wayner is a world leader, they say, in this kind of treatment, and consultants from Alder Hey have been invited to Berlin in America to observe his operation. So it's something that everyone is still learning about now.
He's just done, so many operations of this kind, and he's a leading expert on the treatment of birthmarks.
Yes.
They're called hemangiomas, and nobody's got the experience that he's got, and that's why they've got to go to Dr. Wayner. But
what's required in the operation? Because these cysts, do they grow with him? Do they get worse?
Yeah.
They're part of his anatomy. And
right. So they need to be
completely
removed, do they?
Yeah.
Yes.
And to take out the lymph nodes, you have to go. It would be very deep. It would be deep surgery.
Yeah. I mean, these conditions are deep. And that's why they've recurred with previous surgeons, because they haven't gone in deep enough to get all the tissue out.
Yes.
This guy knows how to do it. He's probably...
Well, he's going to have this operation with Dr. Wayner in Berlin in July, so we wish you the best with that. He's a lovely, lovely little boy, and he's very lucky to have a mum and dad as strong as you and Kevin, actually, to support him through it. No, you've done incredibly well. I know it's very emotional. Thank you for telling us your story, and come back and let us know how he gets on, won't you?
I will do.
We'll put a little link on our website. So if there is anyone who happens to be watching who might have deep pockets, then maybe they might be able to point it in your direction.
Yeah. 50 footballers given £1,000 each.
What a great idea.
The 50 footballer fund.
Yeah, there you go.
Good plan. Good luck.
Right, thank
and he's
you.
lovely.
He is, he's lovely.
We'll see you after the break. Don't go away.